Commissioner Camphausen.
Well, this panel is entitled China's Military and Security Activities in Latin America and the Caribbean. And as a commission member who focuses on this particular topic more generally, I guess I would offer two conclusions for our panelists to respond to. First, it's not very significant. Chinese military activity in the broader Latin American Caribbean region is so insignificant as to result in panelists citing individual cases of arms sales or exercises or numbers of officers who traveled to Beijing over the course of a 6 or 7 year time frame. So my first conclusion is it doesn't really matter. Now, I'm trying to be a little bit provocative, especially for my dear friend, Professor Watson, so that she'll say something that will hopefully inform our chapter on this topic. But that's the first point. It's not very significant. And secondly, Mr. Aragão, in your testimony, you even sort of concede this. You say it's unlikely that China prioritizes the military angle in Latin America. Beijing understands that any point of conflict with the United States will occur in the Indo-Pacific region. Professor Watson has said, though, that the United States is missing opportunities, I'm paraphrasing, because of our own inept policies. I guess the point is, and it's sort of a corollary to the first point, but this would appear to be an open opportunity for China's security interests and the PLA more specifically to have a much broader set of inroads within Latin America and Caribbean. And it's not happening. So what do we conclude from that? If the opportunity is there, why aren't they taking advantage of this?
Well, Commissioner, I believe a couple years ago, the United States, Chinese companies that were believed to be partially or strongly linked with the PLA. If you look at the list of companies that invest in Latin America, you will find Huawei, you'll find Hikvision, you'll find Panda Electronics, China Railway Construction Corporation, China Telecom, most, if not all, of those lists. So it depends on the angle that we see whether the PLA is there or not. And it depends on the interpretation and the information that is not that I don't have access, but you guys do, in how connected these companies are to the PLA. At the same time, for every military capability that is preparing themselves for something that could occur, even if in a very slim chance, and they know exactly where this could occur. And at the same time, China knows that they're no match for the US Army globally, but they are a match if they can combine the region and squeeze the region as small as possible. I see that it doesn't make, at least strategically for them, it doesn't make much sense to uniform style military PLA activities in Latin America. What makes sense, and is one of the points that I try to bring in the testimony, is that if you are preparing yourself in a time frame that for us here in the West is so hard to understand because we think in a different time span, is that you need ingredients. You need steel, you need lithium, you need food, you need oil, you need gas. The route is established because the way that we discuss those issues, we categorize into small boxes that they have no apparent connection to other boxes. It's just a commercial issue. It's a trade issue. It's just commercial dispute. One of the advantages that China has in their international policy and global policy is how they can fastly combine those small boxes into larger boxes and larger boxes like a mamushka doll, that while we watch them individually. So the way that I see is that perhaps the zoom should be a little bit different. We should zoom at the companies, we should zoom, for example, the way that Germany treated Huawei was the example that was settled for Brazil in the end of last year, which was basically claiming that since the company is not listed and the company doesn't have an independent board as a German company does, you cannot compete. Become a German company, and you can do. So I think that perhaps Latin America will always be a supplier and not necessarily a theater in military angles.
Very interesting.